Give anyone present the opportunity to speak on any item that is on the agenda tonight. Anyone who desires to make any comments, make a presentation, we'd ask that you keep your comments under 2 minutes. Yes.
Lillian Caraway, I'm back again about the ordinance 992. I got where y'all addressed it. It's the same one y'all offered at the last meeting that we did not want. We still do not want it. I can see coming and trying to talk to y'all is getting me absolutely nowhere. It's like y'all don't hear us. Y'all went up on the water bill, you went up on the sewage bill, but you didn't do nothing here. You're still making the people pay for all the lines that's on the city property except for the main line. That is not fair. You cannot collect taxes and do not use them to correct the problem that these taxes is being collected for. That is not fair. That is not fair. So considering all of that, y'all won't see me at the next meeting. I'm not coming back. I'm calling for a forensic investigation. I'm calling the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's Department, and I'm calling for a forensic investigation. Based on the 2015 audit, we're going to start there. We're going to come forward. I just want y'all all to know this is what I'm fixing to do. I'm through.
Miss Lilly, I tried to call you back this afternoon. I talked to Craig Gill the morning of that you called me that morning. I talked, but I didn't have a chance to call you back. What Craig suggested, what it's been is going to be the same, is that when they tie in back to the city main, they're tearing up the street. Because the city right here, we don't have any plumbers that's employed with the city. We don't have any, really, we don't do any street pavement. We do street repair patchwork. So by tying into the street, if we tear up the street, what the city's going to do is going to supply all the materials back to help fix the street with the plumber and also assist, if necessary, with the plumber. But on the materials right there, you would still be at the point of with the residential, with the constituents, of still paying for that. Basically, you're paying the plumber. But we're supplying them with the asphalt, the materials, and all like that. You're not going to be out anything on that. And we will assist your plumber with help putting it back. On the talking, Craig, what Craig did was he talked to a few plumbers, and all the plumbers that he talked to, Collins Plumbing being one, he said they do this numerous times. That's what they have to do. And he said there was no municipality as we knew of that was allowing, when you, even though you tie back into our main, if you go on the street, you tie back into ours. But if it's damage is done to the street, there was no municipality that was repairing that, as what he explained to me. So what the city was going to do, our change was the materials, the repair, the asphalt, we're going to be out of. We're going to supply all materials to repair it.
But don't we have to take and hire a construction crew according to this ordinance that y'all trying to put in right now to dig up the street?
No, ma'am. The
Y'all
plumber,
gonna do that?
no, ma'am. Collins said they do that on a regular basis. What Craig explained to me. He talked to Collins Plumbing out of Crowville. He said they do that on a regular basis. They have to tie into that, dig it up, and repair, do it on a regular basis. No, ma'am.
May I
So-
add on, Council Mayor? Ms. Callaway, you're from Bastrop.
Right.
Okay, I spoke with someone in Bastrop a few months
Right.
ago, and they stated the fact that they don't hook up to the main sewer line. They say the property owner is responsible for hooking up to their own, to the main. They
But
said that the city
there's
of
a
Bastrop
difference,
does
Mr.
not
Thomas.
dig from their home all the way out to the main. He says up to the property owner.
But
to
there's
do
a
that.
difference. When our city hooked up, they was one house to one line. Y'all hooked two houses to one line.
Once again, the ordinance states that the city of Bastrop has is primarily the same ordinance that we have. So you're asking us to change our ordinance when the city of Bastrop
I
ordinance has
cannot
not
argue
been
that.
changed.
I do
Well,
not know what the city of Bastrop ordinance said. I'm not having any problem with the city of Bastrop. I'm having a
First
problem
of
right
all,
here with
all
this.
we're doing tonight is introducing the ordinance. There'll be a public hearing on it where, Ms. Caraway, you can talk at the public hearing,
and the council, and hopefully there'll be 5 of them, will listen to what you have to say. And either this ordinance will be passed or it'll fail.
Okay, let me ask you something.
And we've done this for the last 3
What
months.
is wrong with going back to the old ordinance?
This is what Craig Gill is introducing, period.
Miss
And that's what you're looking at.
Miss Lily, I don't know why that group changed it, but for as Craig talking with me, he says it's a cost issue. Because if we do that for Eric, he said we have to go back and retroact the ones who have dug and tied into and had to replace for. But he said, because we don't hire any plumbers or any street pavement guys, we just patch streets. And we get a hole, we patch with asphalt. And so you would look at the high end of cost, what you wind up looking at.
Right.
And so by the city coming in and saying, okay, I'm gonna meet you halfway. We're gonna supply the materials, we're gonna supply all the materials and all that, then assist who you got. So again, we're meeting the property owner halfway with it, and that's what he was suggesting to do. Because if they changed it, it had to have been some logical reasoning for why they did it, when they did it back then. So the only thing I can see was, like Craig said, it had to be something with cost. Or what this
Okay, I want to clarify this. You're saying that we pay for the line. That's what we pay for.
When-
Y'all take care of the street.
When
Y'all
you
build
tie-
the street up, I put the line in, and y'all build the street back.
When
That's
you
what
gotta
you're
tie
saying.
back into the line, if it's going under the street,
Under
you
the
gotta tie
street.
it up. Because when like I said again, when he consulted with Collins Plumbing, you know, he said, well, when y'all have situations, and the head guy right there said, we do that on a daily basis, we have to do that. And we tie it and they have to repair, and we repair it. That's nothing out of the ordinary what they do. That's known for them. So what he said in the deal here, what he suggested was, again, a meeting the property owner halfway, supplying materials, so you're not out of that. Also, what the city is gonna assist your plumber, I mean, it's gonna help in, again, curbing the cost, going to the property owner, try to meet you halfway. So when they changed that, whenever that ordinance was changed, I don't know what time frame when it was changed, for us, if it happened on our time and we was looking at that, it had to have been something with cost. It had to be. So when we're looking at that for the city, when we got to curve cost and work within our budget and work with monies that we have and don't have, so we got to do what we feel that's going to be feasible for the city. Not trying to put the property owner out there.
Okay.
But
I put a paper in front of all y'all. Womack and Son, this is what they said it would cost to fix the sewer line on the city property. Not in my yard, nothing to do. This is just on the city property. That's a bid. That's the bid they got.
how many bids did you get? That's just one.
Only one, because I couldn't find one.
Yes, ma'am.
Sandman Plumbing had to find this.
And 2, Reg,
Sandman Plumbing, Josh
The
Sandman,
line
he is
has to
certified.
be-
This is the only one he could find that would do this.
the line has to be put at a grade.
It's
And that's
over
where,
slant.
am I right, Philip?
Yes, sir.
And that's where the licensed plumber, who is hired and paid for, because he's running the line from their property into our sewer line. It has to be on a certain grade,
It takes a
and he
construction
does
crew,
that.
because a regular plumber can't do it. It takes a construction.
A
crew.
regular
they do
plumber
it all
does it
the
all the
time.
time in
They
Winsboro.
do it all the
They do it
time.
all the time.
Y'all do it all the time?
No,
Regular
regular
plumbers do it all the
plumbers
time
all
in
the
Winsboro. And
Well,
going
why don't
back,
y'all do it
and
then?
and going back
No,
to
he
what,
said, your plumber does it all the time.
Collins, like I said again, Miss Lily, you know,
DC
Y'all do it all
Tarver,
the
you
time.
got
Y'all know what y'all
plumbers
do.
to do it.
Why don't
DC
y'all
Tarver
do it
does it all the
so
time.
Mike Collins, Mike said.
Mike Collins does it all the time.
Huh?
George Payola,
George Payola does it all
All
the
of
time.
them do.
all they do is
All
shoot
these
a
plumbers
grade.
do this.
All you do is shoot a grade.
Mike
don't need
Collins
a
does it all over the
contractor.
state.
Well, give me the name of some plumbers that do it.
Well,
They're
Philip,
certified
can
plumbers.
you give
I have
her
Mike
tomorrow and
Collins.
give her all?
When we
the
get out here
plumbers?
tonight, I'll give you Mike's number. I have Mike.
Yeah, I've got Mike Collins' number. I've never seen
But
him.
this is what they said it would cost me. And Sandman Plumber this guy called me because, Josh,
In '99, we did the same thing. We did an add-on at our home. And at the time, we hired a plumber that we had, and we had to tie out, when we tied in, we had the old clay pipes, and we had, Skipper came back and said we could not tie the PVC to the clay. We had to tear all that out up to the city's main. And Howard did the same thing. When he ran out to the main on that elevation, was our plumbing contractor who did it.
what it cost.
under the street?
Hold it, wait till you recognize it.
Yes, he did. Because of the grade where we was tying in that, and we still had those clay, we didn't know, And then what wound up happening was the plumber that we used, because he made the bid, we didn't know them clay pipes was there, he didn't know they was there. So he stayed within our bid. At the time, I think he did it something like maybe about $3,000. I was sit back at that time, come on my head.
May I say something, please, Mayor?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
all I have to say.
Going back to what she was talking about, the two houses being tied in together, that was done under a subdivision long years ago, probably
When they
50,
put the
50, 60 years
subdivision
ago. You know, that's the way it was done then.
That's right.
You know, we didn't have anything to do with that.
That's
at-
right.
At that time, so, you
That's
know,
what I said back then. Y'all didn't have anything to do with it. Y'all
Exactly.
wasn't there then.
That's right.
But that's the way it was put in. But that's why it's backwashing now, because it, well, Robinson said it's not right. It's not right.
Well, yeah, it was right at that time, because, you know, compare apples with apples. You were tying in a subdivision, now we're tying in individual homes. There's a difference in that. Yes,
Well, on my street, our
I'm
plumbing's
sorry?
never been real good, but since the new street work was done, it's been noticeably worse.
Is that on the agenda?
When they redid the street, they dug a huge hole right there where my sewer line crosses. And so that's the city's problem that they damaged my sewer line. Why should I have to pay to have that fixed?
Where are you talking about?
Franklin
On
Street.
Franklin Street.
I was unaware they had a problem with that.
I knew
And
that-
I'm not the only house. The house next door to me has continuing plumbing problems.
Well,
It
we've
won't drain over to the main.
what are we talking about? Are we on the same subject?
We're talking about
This is the same subject.
the sewer main.
Sewer main that goes under the street.
We're talking about this ordinance.
We're talking about the tying in of private homes into the city.
I'm talking about a line that runs under the city's street. And in my case,
Are we talking about tying in
well, yes, it's tied into the main.
individual home
The main is
lines,
across.
sewage
where I
lines
live.
into the city main line?
Yes, sir.
This is not the ordinance.
Okay.
Are you talking about this ordinance we're trying to
Yes,
pass?
that's
Yes, that
exactly what
ordinance.
we're talking about.
Yes, it's exactly, it pertains to that ordinance. And well, this last rain we had, my plumbing in my house stopped working.
That's not, that has nothing to do with Mr. Caraway and the town
It's the
tying
same
into the
thing.
city's main. You've got a sewer problem, and you need to address your sewer problem.
The city has
This is
a
not
sewer
an
problem.
overall sewer discussion.
We're talking about the sewer line as it runs under the street, and that's what this ordinance is referring to.
No, it's
No,
not.
no,
No,
that's-
it's not. It's referring to a property owner tying into it, either construction or repairs. It has nothing to do with the overall sewer running under the street.
The sewer under the street needs repaired.
With-
It ties in on the other side of our street
I
to the
understand, and
main.
that's something, these comments are on this ordinance right now. It's not the overall general condition of our sewer line, and if you've got a problem, you need to take it up with the city superintendent.
Well, he would tell
or
me
you
real
need
quick
to-
that the city
Or you
ordinance
need
says
to get on the
that's not
agenda and
his problem.
discuss it.
Yes, we have talked to him, and he said that it's not the city's problem, that it's
Okay, wait,
our problem, and it's under the street.
We need you to be recognized before you speak.
I'm Jackie
Just-
Thornhill.
Just raise your hand and get recognized, and then speak. Okay, are we speaking on this ordinance?
Yes, I'm speaking.
We're not speaking of sewage
I'm
running on the
speaking
street.
on ordinance 992.
Okay,
And I'm asking my councilwoman to not vote for it tonight. I think it needs to be discussed more. Obviously, there's a lot of misunderstanding about it. So before it even,
who's your councilwoman?
okay, cut.
Okay.
Well, all of tonight is being introduced.
And I still think that there's a lot of questions about it before it gets introduced.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm
Well,
asking
that's
her
what
to
happened last
please
month.
vote no.
Okay.
Please, it's the exact same thing, nothing's been changed.
Address this? She's talking to you.
I feel like that, and.
Could you explain to her what we're doing tonight?
It was a big introduction, you know, and the committee has met. I mean, I regret that I can't abide what my constituents want in this
Well,
case.
that's
but-
fine, because, that's no more than I expected. If they advise you, you still have an opinion, you still have a say. They advise you, it's an advisement.
But when we ask for the committee, this is what the committee come back with. I
And you
want
still
finance
have an
committee,
opinion.
and I
And it
appreciate
doesn't mean Kay is gonna vote for it.
Ms. Doherty.
All tonight is an introduction of the ordinance.
All it is tonight is just an introduction. It's not getting voted on, this is not going into law. We're gonna have a public hearing, if
And then we
some deals,
all
we can come back and we all look at it and say, hey, we need to swipe this out and wipe it out, then we do that. But this is not putting anything in the law. This is what that committee brought, and I'm not on that committee, Kay is not on that committee. I talked to Craig, like when I told you, Mr. Lilly, that same morning, after I got off the phone with you, me and him talked on my way to work. My intention was to call you back, I've been busy, but I called you, if you look at your phone, today. I called you today about 2 o'clock.
But y'all didn't do anything about it.
What he suggested was what I just said, what they brought out, was that on the deal of supplying with the material. This is not dealing with y'all issue right now with your elevation problem. This is dealing with tying in for those homeowners that are tying to the city main and tear up the street to do it. It's about repairing the street back after they tied to it. So your situation of what you're talking about is a different problem. Y'all got a sewer problem that needs to be addressed. But it's not, that's not what we're talking about in this ordinance right here. What we're talking about right now is repair. It's making the homeowner pay for it right now with the old one. What she was upset with, if they did it and tore into it, it was putting all the burden back on the homeowner when they was tying back into the city part. So if it's, the issue's on the city end, what she was saying, the city should be responsible for it, not the homeowner. So that's what we're dealing with in this ordinance right here.
This is not the overall.
It's a different ordinance, and we need to move on, because we're talking about two different things.
I don't think we are, but I'm just sitting in here trying to figure out what's going on, really.
Also, I'd like to ask the attorney, like, why was it changed in the first place? Like, he proposed that perhaps it was a cost issue. Why was it changed?
It never was changed.
It was too. It was changed in 2004. I called you in 2002 about getting my sewage
I
line
have no
fixed.
idea why it was changed.
It
I mean,
was
the
changed
council,
in 2004.
if Ms. Caraway is correct, and I'm not saying you're not,
Go and look at the ordinance yourself.
I don't know, I don't have it in front of me, and I can't answer
Ms.
that.
Fairway, we're gonna ask you to control yourself. This is not a conversation. You're given an opportunity to speak,
Well, I
but
can't sit here and let him
do not
say
speak
something
out,
when I
burst
just
out
said
like that. Again,
What I can say is that Councilman Gill was assigned to study this ordinance, and I think he met with Philip, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And this is the recommendation he's making to the council, and it does amend the ordinance that's current law. And that's what Rex was saying. The town is codifying it and stating that the town will furnish the material, equipment, whatever, once the line is tied in, because it takes a licensed plumber to put it on grade. Once that's done, then Philip and his crew will be there, and I think you do it now, don't you, Philip?
Yes, sir.
But it's not in the ordinance.
That's correct.
We just been doing
It's
it.
always been a courtesy.
And Ms. Lilly, with this introduction, nobody has said up here where they stand, yea or nay. The only thing we're doing is voting it in to have the public hearing. That vote of yes doesn't mean that we agree with this.
Yeah.
I've talked with him extensively about that. That doesn't mean that. So I want y'all to understand that tonight. That doesn't mean that.
And y'all don't
It's
get
just-
mad
it's
at
an
Kay.
introduction.
Kay may vote against the
Okay,
ordinance
that's all that is.
when it's
Mr. Rex,
brought
you
in.
call me
This is not a
sometime.
vote for
Can I
the
respond
ordinance.
to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
this is a vote to allow the ordinance to sit for 30 days, and then come back and vote.
And there'll be another public hearing. It'll be in the paper, and everybody will get a chance to debate it
Before the
before
30
it's
days is
passed.
up.
And then you watch your council lady or council man and see how he votes. That's politics. They vote for it or they vote against it. And some people get mad at them. I mean, that's just the way it works. But this is what the committee came back with. They studied Ms. Caraway's ordinance that she wanted introduced, and Mr. Gill did not want to introduce her ordinance. This is ordinance that he has introduced. which allows the town to help with the cost by furnishing the material, labor, and equipment to restore the street back to its normal condition, or as close as you can. And so it is an improvement over the ordinance we had before.
Big improvement.
Big improvement.
I hear what you're saying.
And that's what he wanted to introduce tonight.
But that doesn't mean it's wrong.
And it doesn't mean it's gonna pass. If there's enough opposition, all they got is one vote each, and they'll vote it, and it'll either pass or it'll fail. Then we'll go back to the drawing board, or leave it like it is.
So that's what he introduced, that's what he proposed on the committee, that's all it is.
Okay.
I would like
Okay,
before the next meeting,
I'm sorry?
Philip, I don't really know who would need to make the call, but actually get a quote from Collins to see what kind of money she's looking at.
Collins said it usually, they usually charge about $200 to $2,500 to do that.
This bid from Walmart is for the asphalt work too.
Okay.
So basically, what we would be saying, is we're gonna do half, they're gonna do half based on this.
Yeah, basically, they don't just labor and assistance, so it may be a big cut, what he's proposing on that, but that's what he said.
And we keep asphalt and material, and we got the equipment, and that's how the town assists people.
Right.
When they redo their line and they can tie into our money.
Right.
We've always done it as a courtesy. Okay, the only thing this does is say that we will do it now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not, it won't be a courtesy, it'll be something that we will do. By assisting their plumber with the asphalt and the sand and crushed rock, fix the street back to our satisfaction.
But that is a good idea right there. We could get those 3 quotes from Paola, Mike, and who was the other one that y'all said? Y'all remember the third one?
DC Tarver.
And see those who do it regularly, see what their price is with labor, them putting back, and what it would be with materials. So we can see what we're looking at. And that's the best way to look at it. Probably I'll recommend it for the next meeting here with Craig, see where we at.
Okay, moving to item number 2. Approve the minutes. March meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March meeting.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Item number 3, introduce ordinance number 992.
Mayor, on behalf of Craig Gill, he's asked me to ask the council if they will consider introducing ordinance number 992, which amends section 40-79 of the code. Now, this is just an introduction. It will be advertised for public hearing next council meeting. The public hearing will be had, and then the council can decide whether they want to adopt this ordinance or not adopt it. So somebody needs to move that it be introduced, and somebody needs to second.
Okay, I move that we introduce ordinance number 992.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Okay. Item number 4. Number 17-0401, authorizing the mayor the right to enter into contract with the Chambers Group, Chapman Group, payroll.
Okay. Mayor, they're gonna bill us in July, correct? We talked about, them on, for right now, so we get that within the budget, the next budget that's coming up. That's still what they're gonna do? First bill.
Yes, yes.
I make a motion to accept resolution 17-0401, authorizing the mayor to go into contract with the Chaplain Group.
Properly moved
Second,
and second. All in favor, say aye.
I have something to say. I had asked that at the last meeting that we took this off until we had a chance to look at the finance report.
That's why we pushed it to the next budget. When we took it, by that time right there, it was hoping by July, they still gave us some time right there. But we ought to have those finances hopefully almost cleaned up. And then we're making our new budget that's coming in for the next fiscal year. That's why when we put it in.
This is starting in that.
I know it started now, but it's not gonna be billed until
We're gonna
July.
go back and pay for
But,
April, May, and June.
but that way we can amend, we can make that amendment in our next fiscal budget that's coming up to adjust for this past amount of money. That's why I made the motion that we not do that, because we didn't know what was going on with the finances.
We still don't know.
I know, but
Finances.
well, we're gonna be making a budget, we're gonna be passing, hopefully July, August, so we're gonna be passing. So with this right here, what all this had to offer, that's why I pushed it to say come into the next budget. And that way we can make the adjustments that we need to make. Have an add for the cushion here of not bringing it in now, because the finances are still coming out of whack. But we ought to be within whack, I mean, in line in the next budget, but we can adjust. And then again, we still got to keep the finances right, but still again, we don't have the cushion, the line item to add to this right here, to add that to the budget.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that one opposed. Take up. Item number 5. Resolution number 170402, authorizing the city of Winsboro the right to pay financial costs,
Funeral cost.
funeral costs, to Sergeant Mingo funeral.
Mayor, what this is, if everybody recalls, Officer Mingo died while in the employment of the city. When Ms. Mingo arranged for the funeral bill was $9,686.90. Workers' comp only paid $8,500 of it. I'm not sure, I think Alice and I, or Nora and I called Jerry Cronin, who is the Director of Risk Management and who's over our police workers' comp. And Mr. Cronin said that that's all workers' comp would pay was $8,500. He said if the city wanted to pay the difference, it was certainly within their right to do so. And that's when the mayor wanted to bring it up before the council to see if the council wants to pay the difference in that funeral and what workers' comp paid. And it was $1,100, and we put it in there, it was $1,186.90.
What they said is usually, if there's any amount left over, if it's something extravagant they did during the funeral, like some extra stuff that costs a lot of money, then the town decides not to pay it maybe. But if this was just
A
basic funeral, so that's.
There was nothing
Mayor,
extravagant.
that your desire to just have,
What now?
I was asking Jackie, is this what you want to have?
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the right thing to do.
Yeah, and it's strictly a decision that the council has to make, authorize the mayor to do it.
I make the motion.
I second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Item number 6, resolution number 170403, authorizing the advertisement of bids for 2017 street improvement.
He said he couldn't.
Keith is not here tonight, Mayor. I have the paperwork here.
Okay.
This is a resolution authorizing advertisement for bids. At the regular meeting of the mayor and city council of the city of Winsboro, Louisiana, held on Monday, or actually held today, Tuesday, April 18th, at which the meeting of a quorum was present. Due notice same having been made according to law, the following resolution was made. Whereas the city desires to perform the street improvements to various streets within the city. Whereas the city of Winsboro has available funds to cover the engineer's cost estimate. Now therefore it be it resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized on behalf of the city to publicly advertise for bids for the 2017 street improvement project.
I make that motion to lay out resolution
Okay,
17 at 0403.
Properly
Second.
moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Item number 7, resolution number 170404, awarding of 2017 water main relocation. We just received the,
Philip, are you aware of that?
Yes, this is a resolution authorizing award of the 2017 water main relocation project. At the regular meeting of the Winsboro City Council on Tuesday, April 18th, the following resolution was offered by and seconded by, whereas quotes for the 2017 water main relocation project have been received, and whereas said quotes have been reviewed by the city project engineer Meyer, LaCroix, and Hickson as to accuracy, be resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Winsboro, Louisiana, does hereby accept the lowest responsive quote offered for the construction of this project by Womack & Sons Construction Group Incorporated for the total base bid in the amount of $68,250.30. Now therefore it be further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized on behalf of the city to sign all contract documents required for the construction of the 2017 water main relocation project.
I make that motion.
properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Wastewater 2017 Convention Awards.
This is where I get to brag a little bit. In March of this year, we had the Louisiana Conference in Baton Rouge. At the local level in February, we submitted our water sample for the taste contest and our wastewater sample for the beauty contest. We won both the regional water taste contest and the beauty contest, which got us to the state level. When we were at the conference in Baton Rouge, we won the state water taste contest by a perfect score. That gives the city of Winsboro 5 times that we've won the water taste contest, which is more than any other water system in the state. We also won the best take, the sewer beauty contest for our sewer discharge with, again, a perfect score of 10. And I do not have the number of how many times we've won, but we've won, I think, every time we've entered except 2 or 3 times. And we've entered probably 8 or 10 times. And while we were there, I also received an award. It's a George H. West Man of the Year Award presented to Philip Robinson. The purpose of this award is to recognize outstanding performance by the conference member in supporting the ideals and goals of the conference and to encourage and inspire others to likewise serve the public good and the conference. I have been on the board of directors for the Louisiana Conference for the last 3 years. This last year, I was moved up to chair-elect. This year in March, I moved up to chair. I will serve as chair for a period of 1 year. Thank you. The upcoming banquet that we will have in March of next year, which will be in Shreveport, will be my banquet. I'll be in charge of it. And as being chair, I am also the official spokesman for the Louisiana Conference on Water, Wastewater, and Industrial Waste. And I invite the council members to come next year to the conference. And the mayor. And by the way, the mayor and our assistant superintendent did come down for the banquet this year, and was there when I was awarded given the gavel as chairman. And I appreciate them both coming.
Thank you. Let me say something. The fact that Winsboro has won this award so many times, sometimes you get the impression, that it's not a big thing. But when you look at this as a statewide competition, and the fact that we have won these awards, the number of times that we have, it is really, really a big thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Anytime, I brag about that all the time. Best water, we have the best tasting water. I'm in Paris, they got the worst deal, so it's kind of. Yeah.
Compared to what we used to have, this is 1,000 times better than what we used to have.
Accept the report.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. Meyer,
Here again,
not here.
Here again, he is not here. He gave me this project log to give to the council. It's the project status, the 2017 water main relocation project is intended to replace, relocate existing dilapidated mains and services beneath the city streets that are proposed to be rehabilitated in the upcoming 2017 street improvement project. The streets included in this project are Macon, Tensall, and Brown. This project was funded with proceeds from the city's street sales tax. A resolution is tonight's agenda to award the project to the company that submitted the lowest quote for the project. The low quote is less than the engineer's estimate and within the funds available for construction. Also, as the project engineer, Meyer recommends that the project award be awarded as stated in the resolution. Project status again, and the 2017 street improvement project is a continuation of the city's ongoing street improvement program, which is funded with proceeds of the city's street sales tax. The project is currently in design. A resolution to advertise the project is on tonight's agenda. Based on the current scheduled bids will be taken after the city's regular scheduled council meeting. Therefore, a resolution authorizing award will appear on the agenda for the council meeting. The list, and this I was going to bring up in my report, but since it's here, I'll go ahead and give it here. It was recently announced that the city of Winsboro FY 2017 CDBG application was funded. This project includes the rehabilitation of 3 sanitary sewer lift stations within the city's sewer collection system, including the Motel Owens lift station, the Earl Drive lift station, and the Pinecrest lift station. The CDBG grant that the city received will pay for the approximately $700,000 in construction costs. As part of this application process, the city agreed to pay the engineering and grant administration services, which total approximately $131,000. Design and environmental review services will begin in May, with the expectation of this project going to construction in the first quarter of 2018. And these projects, these last 3 projects here, are something that are extremely needed. The Motel Owen pumping station is one of the largest stations we've got and one of the most important stations we've got. And it is in very bad condition.
What is your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept the report from Myers.
Okay. Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. Item number 10, airport manager's monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor. Hangar rental for the month of March totals $400, and fuel sales totals 818.8 gallons, which equals $3,234.30.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the airport manager's report.
Second.
Properly moved and second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Public Works monthly report. Philip, we're gonna work you tonight.
This is the most I've ever talked in this place. We've had several events this month. First of all, we had the circus, which comes to the industrial park. Some friends of mine, they'd taken their children, they said they really enjoyed it. This is the first time we've had a circus here in quite a number of years. The first weekend of this month, we had the 5K, Catfish Festival 5K, Catfish 5K run, which I understand had a real good turnout. After that, we had the Clean City Contest, which we won the region. So that puts us in, to go into the state, which we are about to start making preparations for that. That will be on April the 28th, that we go to the state judging. After the Clean City, of course, we had the Catfish Festival. We finished getting everything, all the stages, fence and all that taken up Monday. Sunday that we were taking everything down, the fair began to come into town and set up down at Davis Park. They were there through this weekend. I think they had a pretty good turnout there also. At Wallace Park this Sunday, Project Change had an Easter egg hunt. And it went from little children all the way up to senior citizens. And I think Miss Allison told us this morning they had over 300 participants at that this weekend. So it turned out really well. That's all I've got for right now.
Okay. Is that it?
That's all.
What is your pleasure?
Move that we accept.
Move to accept, properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. I think, Councilwoman Lois, you wanted to
To amend the agenda,
okay.
to give Mr. Barron and Byron, McCall a chance to speak on the subject that he's concerned about here in Winsboro. You can go up to the mic.
We need to,
Make a motion.
Oh, we need to,
That's
I'm sorry.
now.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay.
I move that we amend the agenda
to add Mr.
to add Mr. Barron McCall.
Okay.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved.
Greetings. My name is Byron McCall. I'm a licensed contractor here in the city of Winsboro. I asked to be put on the docket to discuss some issues with the contractor in the city, here in the town, in the city. Some of the issues I have regarding contract work for a minority business here in the community. And one of the issues that I have is with Fairfield Property Management, which rents out to government subsidized homes. They have a $1 million project going on over there. And there is in an all-black subdivision, and there is no minorities contractors on the ground. They accepted for, there is some exceptions, there is 1 or 2 black workers who are, they're picking up the grounds and pushing a wheelbarrow. And I my concern is, aren't they, I understand that you all have not anything to do with Fairfield Property Management, but they are governed, and aren't we all governed by the same government? I'm seeking answers. Why is there no minority contractor working on this project? And why wasn't the bid public notice? And also, why don't they have any public recording of this bid?
Mayor, can I address something?
Sure.
After you left yesterday, when we talked, I contacted Fairfield, in Shreveport. And so they contacted me back today and told me that they had spoken to you. I think it was April the 4th, of Miss Sharika. And during that time, she stated that she asked for you to send certain things to her. An agreement, a W-9, you had to have a $2 million insurance policy, your license, Louisiana license, and you also had to fill out it's a package. It's
Vendor's package.
excuse me,
A vendor's package.
a vendor's package,
Yes.
which they never received.
Yes, I emailed them everything there. I'll stop by and ask Sharon, Miss Sharon, did they receive it?
Put that mic a little closer to you.
Matter of fact, I called Fairfield Properties afterwards, a few weeks later, to see that they received it. And yes, they did receive everything from me, and they said that they would add me to the vendors list. And as well, so I asked them, I said, well, what about some of the work that are going on there, here now? And they said, well, we'll call you when we need you. Okay, every day, they're on our street. You know, I see this go on. I live on that street as well. And, you know, there's many guys over there that's not working that need jobs. And our jobs here are our job rates at maybe 25% that people have jobs here. And we have a project here that's a big project like that, and there's no employment for the peoples here, not only just blacks. You know, you have vendors here that sell doors, windows, and things. They're not getting any of it either. So I'm like, well, you know, where is this come? Where was this set up at? I can't find no records on it. I mean, you know, it's not out there for public eye. So that's why I'm seeking answers. Because me, myself, I could put 10 or 15 guys to work here and that really need jobs. And
Well, they did assure me if you sent this stuff in, they would look at it and that you could not only work here in Winsboro, but you would be able to work in Columbia or wherever their Fairfields is working.
exactly, but they are superintendent when I
No.
approach him. When
But
I-
all you have to do is get your packet in and the things that they asked for. And they assured me that you could go to work. And you had been offered something here in Winsboro, but you never got your packet in so that they, you know, they have to have it so that they can approve you for the job.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I did email it in to them, everything.
Okay,
They
well,
said
they didn't get it, so they asked you to hand carry it to Sharon and she would see to them getting it.
Yes, ma'am, I sure will.
No, that's what they asked you to do.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't get that part. From my understanding, I talked to a Mr. Darrell, which is Miss Sharon supervisor. And this is what I got the response from him. So that's why I come to the city council to try to, you know, to address the situation that this is going on, and we're not, you know, it's not helping no one here in this town. You know, you bringing the workers, you bringing everything in, but where's the benefit to see?
Mr.
Or-
McCall, if you can get me all of that stuff that they're asking for, I will take it to Shreveport.
Yes, ma'am,
I
I can give
sure
you,
will.
I have it all.
Just get it to me, and I'll hand deliver it myself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you get us some bids?
Excuse me?
Item number 12, Code Enforcement Officer's Monthly Report.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. On district agenda, we have started mowing our lots. This week, we'll be mowing lots over on Baldwin, over off of Robinson Drive, and around the city. Also, we served 8 junk car notices, which those cars have been removed. Also, in this month, we have 5 new businesses coming to town. We have one open now, the King of Wings, which is at 3524 Front Street. We also have at 4268 Bed Stop Car Lot, 4274A, Sweet Thing Ice Cream is coming to town. Also, we got at 4274B, the Gypsy Rose Boutique. We also have on Hammond Street, which is gonna be Miss Jackson, Virgil Jackson, opening a hair salon. Mayor, that's all I have for the week.
That's quite a bit.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Did you mention Earl Drive in that?
I'm in Earl Drive, I'm not Baldwin.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your pleasure?
Move that we accept.
Yep, properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Fire Chief Monthly Report. Fire Chief here? Police Chief Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. March 2017 to April 17, criminal charges for the month of 21, for the year so far 151. Traffic charges 76, for the year so far 344. Highway accidents of 16, parking lots of 14, total of 30. And the calls for service so far 460. That's all I have.
What is your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept the chief's monthly report.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Humane Officer's Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor. Number of dogs adopted for the month, 0, cat 0, claim 0, 1 for the year. Fostered, 2 dogs, 17 for the year. There are 2 dogs put down at Park Road, 2 cats escaped. New dogs picked up 7, 45 for the year. Total care for the month, 21, 4 cats. Pounds of dog food, 400 for the month, 1,300 for the year, 10 for the cats. Total number of dogs in the pen, 19. Total number of animals in the pen, 19. Miscellaneous animals, 8. That's skunks and coons. Total number of calls, 50. Also, we have a picture of our old dog pen in y'all booklet. And we have an updated to our new dog facility. That's a design put together by me and the mayor. Cartoon characters put up, picnic tables built for the ladies to come in and walk dogs. Also, our back facility just been built. We've been trying to get it built for a couple of years. It's just about finished, except a couple of dirt work and lighting. Besides that, everything is done. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
I move that we accept Humane Officer's Monthly Report.
Properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Community.
I have one question.
I'm sorry.
Russell, did you do this artwork?
No, ma'am, I sure wish I could get it. Dr. Sullivan did it. I wish I could have made that money.
I haven't said what old Russell did. That's the old.
Oh, okay. Oh, that Russell's talented.
It is. Yeah, that does look good. Okay. Community Center monthly report.
Okay, we had 2 events for the month of March, a birthday party, and then Victory Temple had a father, daughter, mother, son dance. Of course, we had our monthly Full West, which you all can see, and that's about it for
Oh, okay, I got 2 questions. Mayor,
Yes.
I want to propose, I know we have talked about it, of having a community center, community center committee meeting. As we're working on the budget right now, there's some things, some loose ends that we need to fix and tie in. One of those loose ends is these cameras. We still ain't got to monitor when we're tying in anything into these cameras. And I've said for a couple, we have talked about that in the past, that if something were to happen, and we have to use these cameras right here, we still don't have a monitor. The other thing we talked about was the tables. The tables that we got in here, I know we purchased been about, probably about 8 years ago or better. And we got problems with those tables. What we need to look at on our budget when we look at it, and we sit down with Ms. McCarthy of getting this thing of the necessities that we need. And I said that monitor, we said we wanted to, is that either put one here, one in the police station with the chief, but we need to have something of those monitors, just in case. We've been blessed thus far, but we hadn't had an incident to happen up in here.
We have one on my computer. Monitor.
Yeah, but we need to have one where she has in her office, where she can monitor this place from the bathroom to the corner, the cubby holes, where we got cameras at. And then again with the chief, because right now it does her no good when she's in here. And I know we have people in here where she don't have to be constantly walking around up in here. She can monitor from her office when she's in there, and she can see everything that's going on up in here.
We have the new tables in the new budget for the upcoming year too.
Yeah, we just didn't have the money in this last budget.
That's why I was saying of getting the money there, of getting, I know that's a necessity need, but again, of getting that money there to have those, to get those tables. Mayor, me and you talked about this probably about a year ago, that I told you I did an event here, and these front speakers right here do not work. Right now, we need the HDMI. We got the old port that used with this
Projector.
Yeah, let me just say that I've been looking into that, and I don't have a lot of money in the budget, but it takes a lot to heat and cool. So, I mean, that takes I think I talked to Nora and that takes a big piece of the budget. Even if we turn it off, it takes a lot to cool it back up. So, we just have to try to figure out some other ways. I know there's a lot of things I talked to you with it about getting it done, but once I started going over the budget and seeing what we had, and a lot of that stuff is very, very expensive. I mean, the mayor had even approved for me to get the tables, and then when I went to get the table, they told me, baby, we got no money in the budget. So, but it's just, it'll have to come with the next budget.
And one thing that we talked about, that I know when it was constructed, they didn't do it, but we look at it now that it's needed. None of these lights are dimmers, where we can dim, when they're doing events in here, whether it's just cutting these lights flat off, or when they're gonna do a projection where you can turn, dim down those lights. You look at the Ravel, when you do a deal, they can dim up those lights, dim on and off. And right here, all our lights right here just completely switched. Either you gonna put you all in the dark.
Let me offer a suggestion.
We may not be able to just add a dimmer.
Let us hold a meeting with the members of the committee and bring a recommendation back to the council. And you can introduce any suggestions that you may have.
Thursday at 5.
I got a track meet. Let's go, we can go, I know Wednesday's church, we'll have to look at it next week. So, what about Wednesday? I know Wednesday.
Wednesday's good.
Wednesday, Ms. Lord.
That's good.
Wednesday at 5 it is.
Wednesday.
Tab. Wednesday at 5?
Can't win.
8:30. We'll solve that one.
You gonna remind me, Al?
I sure will. Yeah, no, huh?
What is your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept the community center monthly report.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn. Properly moved. Second. We adjourn.